Welcome back, everybody, to the DLC podcast, episode 3. I'm Gabriel.
Hey, Jerry here.
Citus.
So hope everyone is enjoying their weekends. But just before we start our actual topic, I do want to say something about our last episode. In terms of the home allowance topic, I don't think we were prepared to go into that topic. And that topic itself is something that I'm very interested in, and I think it's something that we could go back and explore in later on episodes. But I don't think we have justified that topic well enough, and I hope that we could go back and revisit that topic later on. So yeah, no further ado, Gabriel, just continue on with what we just said about the video game.
I wanted to talk about my search of the ultimate video games since I was a kid. What I mean is that when I was a kid, video games was my entertainment of choice, and I would play all genres of games like MMO, RPG, shooter games, and my whole life I've been trying to find this video game to just get stuck and addicted to and spend all my life in. And currently my top contender is League of Legends, and I don't know if I like that idea. I have this love-hate relationship with League of Legends, and I'm sure the two of you can relate very much. It is a MOBA team 5v5 game, and what are your thoughts on League of Legends?
I mean, not only League of Legends. I think video games in particular is what brought a lot of us together, right? Because as we said last episode, I think we're pretty introverted, and I think having this platform to play on is the only interactive thing that we actually did when we were younger, right?
Right.
So for me, I play a lot of like CS, not even CS:GO, just the OG CS.
Oh, okay.
The Chinese, the Hong Kong version,
Right.
which is I think the company was Domania. So that I had so much fun, and later on we've played some fighting games and all that. So yeah, I think for me, video game is where we find a day to gather together and have fun together. And I honestly, for myself, I enjoy the interaction between us friends over the game.
Right.
And you did say that League of Legends, you have a love-hate relationship. And to be honest, I really don't enjoy the game that much. Because, not gonna lie, there's more hate than love. Because imagine if you win a game, you get that self-high and that endorphin. You're like, oh, I'm so good, right?
Yeah.
But maybe someone like surrenders in like 15 minutes. Like you get a choice to surrender as a team to lose the game. And it's not as fun if they surrender and you just win. Because I think you both will agree with me on this. It doesn't matter if you win 9 games. The one defeat is gonna stick in your mind.
Yeah.
And that's what's gonna mess up your mind for the rest of the day and put you in a bad mood. It's just one game. And I really do not like that in League of Legends.
Yeah, I think I'm very similar to Jerry. I feel like I play games more for socializing instead of actually enjoying the game. I mean, of course, the game is a big part of that too. Yeah, and League of Legends was like the chosen game of how we socialize, right, in our friend group.
Yep.
And yeah, we go with it. And not to say that I didn't enjoy the game, but yeah, I'm in it more for the team spirit, team action. It's kind of like a sport. It's kind of like playing a sport with your friends, but you don't have to be literally playing it outside in the real world.
Yeah.
I understand the ranking aspect of the game where you try to best yourself and get as high as possible, right? But I just enjoy the team fighting aspect of the game a lot more. Because even in rank, you're stuck to playing with 1 or 2 friends, right? Like it's pretty hard to like you literally can't rank with more than two friends, or like more than one friends.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think Gabriel, you're a lot better than the two of us, so I think you can add more to that in terms of rank and what you think about the game League of Legends.
I think the only reason why I have a high rank is because during that time I grinded a lot. I spent a lot of hours at it, and when you spend a lot of hours on anything, you're bound to get better eventually, right? And I think I just so happened to.
I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that.
Yeah, but it will that's part of it. I think I spent, at least that was during my college days, that I reached my highest rank, and that time it was league, sleep, go to class, do my homework, and then league again. And there's literally nothing going on in my life except for league. And I kind of found comfort in that because there was some sort of like consistency. I hate change, so any consistency is good for me, even though however mundane the task. And I think going back to what you said earlier about losing feels a lot worse than winning, that is definitely true. Like you can, every single winning game, you're like, oh, okay, you don't feel victorious, but you feel like, oh, thank God that's over and I didn't lose.
Yep.
And that is, I don't even know why we still play that game, but every time we try to switch over to another game, we seem to we play a little bit and then we lose interest as a group. Like either someone just doesn't want to play that game, or when we play it, we don't have the same kind of, I don't know, like interaction with you. Well, it's hard to say why we keep going back, but I think, yeah, I think League of Legends is what kind of brought us together, and we have this group that still plays League together. And do you think if we stop playing League, would we just not play any games together and we would just play games by ourselves or something like that?
I'm sure we can fall into other games, but I think League is just because it's a 5 versus 5 player base, so you're allowed to have more friends to play together. And usually when we're online, there are like 3 to 4 people that are playing together. So I can't think of any other games that allows you to do that. So yeah, I think League of Legends is just a gathering game for us. Like, because right now, like you said, like back in the college days or like high school days, we got a lot more time to play during the weekend, right? But right now, I literally, we could only play the game on maybe Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
And even Saturday was a bit of a stretch because we usually have other activities. Like for me, I usually go out and spend time with my friends actively. So I think it's only Sunday. I think if we do switch to another game, yeah, that's a possibility. But I think League does have a comfort zone within ourselves that I think we will always fall back into.
Actually, when you mentioned the time commitment, I think that's a big part on why like I stopped exploring so many games as I used to, because to pick up a new game, it takes like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 hours or whatever. And whenever I play games, I want to be in like a gaming session that lasts for like 3-4 hours or whatever, that I don't have to care about anything to be immersive. It's kind of like watching a movie, right? You want to be immersive in that space, in that, you know, story or whatever. But then as we grow older, I feel like just time isn't that available. And every time I play a game, I'm like, okay, I have 30 minutes, let's crank a game out, and then I'm out, you know. And it kind of feels like it's very hard to start a new game because of our like time constrictions now.
I think so for the viewers that don't play League, a game usually lasts for around, let's say, 30 minutes, right? Normally, like 20 something. But if you account for the wait time and all the queuing process and the declines and all that, it usually lasts up to like 45 minutes per game, which is actually a lot of time, right? And if you're playing with your friends on a Sunday, you try to fit in as many games as possible, let's say 4 to 5 games, and that literally would take up your whole afternoon. And not gonna lie, when you're playing with your friends, time do flies. But yeah, just League of Legends itself, the game is very, very long. And yeah, I think that's something that we could think about as well.
Do you think you'll ever stop playing?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you're talking about League of Legends, yeah, definitely I'll stop playing one day because I so sometimes the game could be really toxic,
Yeah.
right? So I don't necessarily enjoy it all the time. Not gonna lie, like these couple of days or even this week, I didn't even touch League. So yeah,
Yeah,
maybe later I'll crank some games, but yeah, I'll definitely stop. I don't know about you, bro.
I have the same sentiment on like, oh yeah, this is a really crappy game. Why do we even play it? I hate myself. But I don't know if I can stop. I'm too deep. Like it I can go days or weeks without playing League. Like if I travel or if I don't have my computer or whatever, I can stop playing League. I don't think about it. But when it's available, it's like, yeah, one game wouldn't hurt, or like, oh, two games wouldn't hurt. Oh, my whole Sunday's gone. So it's kind of, I don't know. I can never see myself, as long as I have access to a computer, then I would kind of want to play League. It's just in my habit. I feel like, I don't know, but when I stop playing League, it will be when I stop playing games entirely. I think that is when I will stop playing League.
I don't know how I feel about that because I can easily quit League, but just our friend group is so attached to that game, so
Actually, sorry, let me cut in.
Yeah.
So we all started playing League at high school, right? Let's say junior year of high school, and then we all went to college. We all played on the North American server because we were all in Hong Kong, and it had a good enough connection that we can all still kind of play decently. And once I moved to the States, I feel like there was a time in between where I was the only one amongst. Actually, that is when I hit my highest rank, when I was the only one playing League, and everyone else kind of like either dropped off or they weren't playing as much or only playing from once in a while. And that is when I truly just play alone. And there is some kind of like, it's very tranquil when you play alone. It's like a different game when you play with friends. When you play with friends, it is a 5v5 game. You have to consider everyone's role and whatever. But when you play alone, when your entire main goal is just to climb the ladder and get a better rank, even though it is a 5v5 game, you feel like it's a 1v9 game, because you gotta take into considerations of your own teammates, and so you have to put on this like positive persona so that your own teammates won't try to troll you. And I feel like playing rank alone for an extended period of time kind of is a very different experience than playing with friends. So I think that's why I cannot quit, because I can do both. I love playing with my friends and I also enjoy playing alone, whereas some people don't like to play alone.
That is a very good point to point out. Sorry, I'm just gonna cut on this.
Sure, go ahead.
Because for myself, I can never play alone. It is so boring. Like I just can't. I don't get it. Like even if I'm playing with someone that's not as skilled, I probably I would enjoy that. I would play with someone that I don't even like.
Right.
Like that's I don't mind. Like that's really still it's just so much worse if you play alone. Because for the fewest reference, I play support, right? So I'm playing a role that literally supports the team. It's good to have someone else, even if it's like way up at the top lane or something, right? To have a bit of communication. It's like, all right, I'm gonna do this. Oh, my ADC is bad. Or the mid lane don't know what they're doing. Like, give them some help. Like, I can at least communicate and have some kind of advantage. And if my attack damage carry is not doing its role, I can switch to help my friend instead to carry him. Like that's just for me. But yeah, I really cannot play that game alone. Like I tried. But also another thing, I don't want to go off topic too much, but the Japanese server is so culturally diverse.
Yeah.
You literally cannot communicate with anyone. because the server we play on is Japanese, you got like 4 different ethnicity that you play with, right? You got Japanese, you got Korean, you got Vietnam, and you got Chinese, and sometimes you get an NA or EU player, right?
Right.
So it's so hard to communicate with anyone, and it usually, like, if anyone just died 1 or twice, it turns to a computer like just typing keyboard war between the 2 players. So yeah, the game is very toxic. I don't know how you're playing alone, but yeah, I cannot play alone, man.
Yeah, I agree with Jerry. I would never be able to play alone in League of Legends. I guess not. It just doesn't have the same kick as playing with like 4 friends. When I play alone, it feels like there are other games where I would prefer playing alone. You know, like story-based games or like just like like single player RPGs. And yeah, I don't see the why you would want to play by yourself. Yeah.
I mean, for rank, I understand, but casual play, I cannot. Like, there's no point. And even in a ranked game, you're probably just gonna like you're either gonna argue with someone else, or someone within your team will be arguing.
Right.
And even if you win the game, they are still arguing. That's the thing, I don't get it. Like they literally they won the game. They're still in the chat room arguing. They say, "Oh, you're trash." I'm like, "Oh, you're bad." I was like, "What do you mean we won?" Like that's what I don't get.
Yeah, people take the game
So
way too
serious.
seriously in that game. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's just a game.
Yeah, it's all about like how you treat others. Like as soon as you badmouth another player, they're gonna come at you.
Well, so I think playing alone at least for League of Legends, it is definitely an acquired taste.
Acquired taste.
Yes, it is an acquired taste. You torture yourself enough, and then you're like, wait, I like this, and
No,
that's how you know you're hooked.
But let's be honest. Like Gabriel, you are in terms of skills, you're way better than all of us, right?
Or
at least in this, and let's be honest, you're better than us, right? Because and I'm support, I'm just a support. But anyway,
hey, supports are important.
I think like if you are able to carry a team and have fun, like I get it, right? But in low level, low tier ranks is very dirty.
It's very
I just don't know. I don't know what to put in that. It's just really messy. A lot of games. You're either gonna win hard or you lose hard, and there's usually no coming back. And again, the ethnicity of all the players, like all the mentality are different, and the player play styles are different. So it's very hard.
Right.
Why are people so toxic on the platform? Why?
Good question. That's a very good question. I think it is. Do you know that meme where an employee gets berated at work, and then the guy goes home and beats his wife, and then the wife beats the kid?
He plays League of Legends.
Yeah, so I think it is because when you are introduced to the game, the first thing you get is toxicity, right? Your very first game in League or whatever. Because you have Smurfs. Smurfs are people who has played the game, but then they have a different account to play with, like newer friends. And,
that's so true.
And they would come in and destroy your first time experiencing this game, and you're like, oh wait, this game is trash. But then you stay long enough, you're like, oh, I see good in this game, but the people playing this game is trash. And then you become the trash because that's what the game is surrounded with, and I guess I don't even know how League of Legends can fix this, because I have not played another game where I hate the community so much. I don't understand it.
I mean, again, I think because there's so many people, like there's 10 people total, and there's 5 people in your team. I think it's very hard for people to acknowledge that they suck and they did something, like they make a mistake and people would not acknowledge it, right?
Right.
Because like if you miss a hook or you miss an ability or you misplay something, right? People are usually gonna blame others first instead of like, all right, I miss every skill right there, and you're gonna question mark ping another player, right? It's like, what do you mean you miss every skill? It's your problem, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard. Like and again, as what I just said just now, it's just one bad mouthing. If you talk bad on another player one time, it will turn to a war throughout the game.
Yep.
You just be like sitting there typing. You won't even play the game for let's say 10 minutes. That's long enough, right? So yeah.
So Gabriel, you're saying that people have shitty lives outside of the game, and they come home, and they release that torture.
Okay, no, that's not what I from the meme. I meant like it's the passing on of the toxicity. Not so much. Yeah. I'm not saying that League players all get berated at work and then they beat their wife, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the toxicity is passed on throughout the games, and it just reinforces that every single game. And
so it's like an echoing chamber.
Yeah, exactly, and it gets worse and worse.
Where one person, acts toxic towards another person, and that other person continues on the cycle.
Yep, exactly.
All right. Do we have?
I just
Do we have a beeping function here? Can we beep this out?
The bleeping function.
Yeah, can we? No one. I just gotta mention.
Okay, I'll ask the editor to bleep it out. Yeah, that's okay.
So, no wonder perpetuates the cycle every single game. He just.
Shit.
Oh no!
Holy fuck!
No.
Keep that all out. Just beep the whole thing out.
This whole section is gonna be bleeped out. Yeah, and then we're gonna blur your face. We're gonna blur your face.
Oh no! Put that flag thing up.
Change my voice.
Change your voice.
Black, black stripe right
there. How good is he out of the game? Hey, can you beat one more?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, do it.
Beat one more. The same problem.
Oh my god.
We gotta cut this live stream right now.
Yeah, we gotta. Okay, we can't do that.
This is staying here.
I think back to topic. A game you're supposed to enjoy and have fun, right? You spend your whole day at work or a whole week for me to at least finally have a chance to talk to your friends and enjoy your day. And then damn you're bombarded with trash talks, and you're just even more mad. And usually on a Sunday and a bad day of gaming, right? Yeah. You're just so depressed at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Right? You're just like, wow, why did I even play this game? That's what I thought, at least.
Yeah, and I do. There are days where everybody is pissed, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go now, bye. And everybody just had a bad time. It wasn't worth it. We all should have just slept or whatever. And
yeah.
Yeah, on the bright side, a lot of my EQ was trained from League of Legends.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's impressive.
I would agree with that. Actually. Yeah.
I would say I kind of agree, but also at the same time, League also brought out the worst in me. I've never seen myself so angry at something.
Yeah, you almost contacted the person's family and tried to move
No, okay, I'm gonna bleep that part out. That did not happen.
Exactly what you had. I know as a friend of ours is very keen on that idea as well.
Yeah, taking us out of League of Legends and bringing us back to the topic of video games. Um, do you guys watch people play video games at all? Like, YouTube videos or like streamers?
Okay, I'll start first. Okay, for me, because I got an older brother. We're 16 years apart, and from a very young age, he got a PS2, and I actually never like actively ask. Of course, as a kid, you do want to play the game too, right? But most of the time, I'll just be like sitting there watching him play because I'm just really bad at the game, right? Because I remember playing like FIFA or like Destiny Warriors, right? And I actually really, really enjoy just watching him play, like, because I know that I'm not gonna perform as well as him, so I just sit and watch, and that's something that I truly enjoy. But and also it depends on the game. If it's story based, I'm sure that I'll be more willing to sit down and just watch the game. But it's like action based, if it's like league, maybe not. Maybe if it's like final like championship or whatever, but definitely not like Apex or something like where you actively need to pursue your goal with your team. But I think this also stems from PewDiePie, where he played a lot of like horror games. I wouldn't personally go and play a horror game myself because that's a bit too much for me. But I love watching him play horror games, and the shock value and like I'm as scared as him, and knowing that there's someone to go through that with me is it's just amazing. It's really funny as well.
I think it depends on what games or what forums you're talking about. Like a live commentary of like a competitive game, or like something like PewDiePie where he's just doing a playthrough with his like voiceover and reactions. Like I definitely watch some, like in terms of like a mix of competitive or like PewDiePie, but very little in like a grand scheme of things.
Right.
Because I'm definitely more of the type of person to feel like I would like to play the game myself instead of watching someone play. And I feel like watching someone play, like let's say in a competitive game, feels like watching a sport.
Yeah.
Like and I don't watch any sports, like not even like any real life sports. And yeah, so to me, I would rather be actively playing the game myself instead of watching someone play.
So you would also want to play the sport instead of watching someone play like the sport. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, that's interesting.
Definitely. Yeah.
I feel like
I mean, it really depends on the game. Because for me, my favorite genre is my favorite game and company is Pokemon. But it's actually very chill and relaxed, right? You can plan accordingly and all that, and you go through the story. So, like for Pokemon, there's no way I'm gonna like watch another people play, right? Because you want to go through that yourself. I mean, you can, but like it's super boring. And I'm pretty sure I have watched a few, but it's so boring. It's better to just play on your own and like really like be in love with your team and your decisions throughout the process. But yeah, what you think, Gabriel? You didn't say anything about that.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that I would have agreed with you that Pokemon is not fun to watch someone else play.
Yeah.
I would say that I would have agreed maybe like a year, 2 years ago, but I think recently or I have just discovered people playing Nuzlocke for Pokemon games.
Yo, you have no idea, man. That's so fun.
It is exactly that? Okay. So Nuzlocke is basically.
Oh, it's so hard to explain.
Yeah. How should it is?
Okay, so like.
Okay. Go.
Let me try to do this. It doesn't necessarily have to be a mod, but it's self-imposed rules that you put on yourself to play on the game. So usually it's every route or every new area you enter, you're only allowed to catch the first Pokemon you see. And if you fail to catch that Pokemon, it's gone. You can't catch it. and if you kill the Pokemon, it's gone. You're done with that route. And throughout the game, if your Pokemon dies, you can't use it anymore. It's dead.
You have to release it.
So you have to release it. So you're very limited to the choice of your Pokemon and ability and having background knowledge of the game. So for myself, I actually did a few Nuzlocke, and they are some of the best experience I've ever had. Because as you guys know, Pokemon game is actually starting to tailor to children now, and the games are actually make like easier and easier. So having these these rules that you set makes the game a lot more harder, and it's very fun. And you got to test out a lot more Pokemon, because like there are Pokemon that you never use, like the bug Pokemon, and like relatively weaker Pokemon that you could explore and use. So yeah, Gabriel, going back to you, I think that was
I think that was a great explanation. And I've only discovered Nuzlocke like this past year or something, and it would be a live streamer doing this Nuzlocke run, and he would condense it down to like a 10, 20, 30-minute video of like a 3-month run or something like that, which is crazy. And
exactly,
and the way that they present these, it's almost like a story of itself, right? You see how they started, you see their struggles, and then you see a complete end. And in that sense, I would watch people play video game, because it is, I'm not experiencing the video game as much, but I am experiencing their experience of the video game, which is just as good as me playing the video game or something like that. And I think that's something I had to discover, because I would want to play the video game that I bought or whatever. If I see a new video game, I would want to play it, but at the same time, I would also want to watch someone else who is very competent at the game, who has these extra knowledge that I may not even know, or it may take me a long time to kind of gather all these knowledge. But if this guy is, the top of his peers at doing this, and he can make it entertaining, I think that is a lot better than what I could have experienced if I played the game alone.
Also, like, can you imagine, like, if you're watching like a stream of Pokemon Nuzlocke, it's so much different compared to a well-made edited video on YouTube, right? Because a stream on Pokemon Nuzlocke is gonna be so boring. Because you're just gonna watch them grind for levels for like 5 hours, right? And also, can you imagine how much time they invest in that video? Because a Nuzlocke is extremely time consuming, right? Because there's so much grinding involved. So I actually very much respect the people that do Nuzlocke for YouTube, because there's so many hours that they have to compile into one video, and they have to write all the scripts and document everything and record everything. So I'm very interested. I have no idea you went into Nuzlocke, but I personally love watching those. So but Gabriel, what do you think about watching and playing though? You didn't really talk about that.
I enjoy both. I think I would enjoy watching a lot more now, because I just don't have time set aside to play video games anymore. I would just rather, if I have an hour, I have to start up my computer. I have to set things up. It takes such a long time to set up, and then just the whole process kind of turns me off. So watching a video is like 30 minutes, and I'm good. I can do whatever throughout the day. So I would say
30 minutes is still long though.
Yeah, 30 minutes is still long, but then I can pause whenever I want, right? And so so it is less commitment, but as much enjoyment. So I would say I favor watching video games more now, but I am not opposed to playing the video games myself.
Yeah.
Jerry said something very interesting just now when he was talking about Pokemon. He said games are getting easier and easier for the kids. Do you guys agree with that?
Yes and no, I think. I mean, obviously, some of the games are trying to cater to children, and I think their explanation to that is actually they said that the attention span for a child is getting shorter and shorter. So, in order for them to get the attention, they have to make the game easier so kids could actually spend more time in the game. But however, as you guys can see, some of the games they're actually making it harder and they're gonna advertise it as this is the hardest game you ever play, right? Like Dark Soul or like Cuphead, you know what I mean? Like they're like made to be harder, but at the same time, if you look back at when we were younger, Mario 2 was super hard, and it was just a normal game.
Right.
Like I don't know where the standards are setting. Is it games are either too easy or they're too hard? So yeah, that's just my thought though. But Pokemon on itself is definitely getting easier, and I'm very frustrated.
Yeah, I actually don't like that developer mentality that they have to make games easier. I know that's what's happening with Street Fighter also, and
Oh
Pokemon you
really?
said. Yeah. What else? I don't know. There's like a whole range of games that became more easier because of what you said just now. Um, am I gonna grow old and be like, back in my days, games
Oh
used to be.
definitely. But that's
Um,
just fact that
I,
the games are easy. It's just so easy. I literally beat one of the Pokemon game. I'm pretty sure it was a Pikachu and Eevee version. So it was a remake of the Generation One. I beat the game with two Pokemons.
Oh wow.
well, I guess it's also easier because of the internet, right? We are so um, bombarded with information where anything like let's say in the first gen when you couldn't figure out how you get somewhere, you couldn't just go on the internet and pull up a whole walkthrough of how you should beat the game. But now we could easily just do that. So I guess that's what contributed to having easier games too. You just
Well,
look up what we feel stuck.
I feel like that might not be the main driving force. That could contribute to it, but then even when I was younger, I remember buying these books for Pokemon, and it's literally a walkthrough because I'm somewhat of a completist. I like to explore all of the area and catch all the Pokemon, and I would have the book, I would have that information, but like you said, maybe it's not easily accessible to everyone. But I wouldn't say that it is the main thing that's driving developers to say, "Oh, this game is too hard because uh, they have more information." Oh, this game is too easy because they have more information. Um, I think what might be driving it is people's opinion on what is hard and what is not hard, right?
Personally, I don't like hard games, or at least I don't like um, how a game is hard from day one.
Mm-hmm.
I would much rather have like a gradual increase
Yeah, I agree.
in
Yep.
difficulty, or you set it in a in like a well balanced way. Like I feel like the older Pokemon games are much more balanced in that sense, where difficulty and how easy it is like balance.
Mm-hmm.
Right now it is easy. Like all you could close your eyes and beat the game in a day.
And there are runs where the guy actually blindfolds himself and play a game,
Oh my
and
god.
play a game of free Pokemon. Like that's actually a thing. But back to what you just said, Citus. I think I'll agree and disagree to what you just said. Just yes, the internet made it easier for people to find stuff and like for example, if I want a certain Pokemon, where do I find it? I know exactly where I will find it just by typing in Google. But my problem is Pokemon games right now, or actually any other game, they're holding their player's hand and guiding them to wherever they want. Like it's just so much easier the games. So you lack the exploration part of the game. So you cannot go and like explore the map and really immerse yourself within the game. And that's where I really have a problem with. Is I think companies are treating kids like they're stupid or something, but they're not. Like we play the game fine, so
Right.
why can't my kids do the same?
Right.
Because right, one time my nephew just suddenly hyper boosted started to level 100 in like the fifth gym, like before the Elite Four. Like I don't get it. Like why is the game so easy right now?
Mm-hmm.
Like it is way harder back then. Like yes, you could over level a Pokemon, but at the same time, over leveling a Pokemon have no use if you don't know where you're going, right?
Right. Right.
So you could be stuck in a place for as long as you want, but you're not gonna get anywhere with a level 100 Pikachu.
Mm-hmm.
And another reason developers do this is because they want to appeal to newcomers to the game.
Yeah,
So they basically say fuck you to the old players because they know they're gonna get the game no matter what.
Mm.
yep.
And then they're leaning towards the newcomers because that's new money they would earn.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess this is part of the developers' mentality too. I always lean towards new players, so there's always constant new stream of money.
Mm.
I think that's especially true for Nintendo games, especially Pokemon, because they know that you're gonna buy it anyway, no matter
Right.
if the game is crappy or not. Because I die-hard friend like me, I'm gonna buy it anyway. Like I still enjoy the game, but seeing it deteriorate is pretty sad. But at the same time, like I think in one of the newer games, actually they did fix this problem, and the trainers were harder to face. And they try to shift a lot of the attention to the competitive side, like the Wi-Fi competitive side of the
Mhm.
game. So there is a lot more to learn. But yeah, I just hope that they understand that kids are not that stupid, and they could go around and explore more areas on their own, and they'll be fine. And if they are truly stuck, to be honest, they could Google themselves anyway.
Right. Right.
Is this a problem because developers are looking at money more nowadays? As
Well, I
for
mean, like definitely, because you still have to keep your shareholders happy and make money for your company. But
I think I know where Sidus is going. I think he wanted to mention that a lot more games now have microtransaction, and a lot of these we didn't see any of these before. Our expectations when we bought a game when we were younger is that when we buy the game, that's the only money that we're gonna spend on it, and the whole game is there. But now a lot of games, online games, have loot boxes. They have DLC that come every year, and it just feels like a lot of game developers are trying to milk every last cent out of the players. And but I don't know if that ties into making the game easier. That may have a lot of causes, but I definitely don't think that microtransactions were a good thing for gamers. But I do think that it is a good form that gamers can kind of directly give back to the game if they really like it.
I support the game,
Right,
right?
support the game, yeah.
Right.
well, let's
Sorry. I just think microtransaction, if it doesn't affect the gameplay at itself, I think that's completely fine. Like League of Legends applies microtransaction that you could get skins
Right.
and that like you don't really affect the game, right? But however, if you guys know like the Star Wars game or like the FIFA game, you could literally be paid to win, right?
Oh,
To
okay.
buy loot box and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And that I have a problem with. So I don't want games to have microtransaction that would affect the gameplay. for example, the newer Pokemon game, there's one that's coming out soon. If you have a pre-order of the game, I don't necessarily know if that counts as a microtransaction, but if you pre-order the game, you pay a bit more, you get a legendary as you start.
Oh.
Like, why would you do that? Like, you give the new player a legendary Pokemon. I'm gonna
Right.
assume it's gonna be level 50, right?
Right.
You're gonna have a level 50 fighting a level 5.
At level 5, yeah. That's
Like,
insane.
what's the point? Like, I don't get it. Like, right. Anything else to add on to that?
I'm actually gonna disagree with Jerry, not like not of what he said, but like of what when he mentions that microtransactions are okay if they don't affect the game. I feel like it should go deeper than that because there are games that have loot boxes where they don't really affect the game, like Overwatch, or even in League there's mystery chests.
Mhm.
But that's the whole loot box system is playing into like the gambling aspect of and it could really stem up a form of like addiction when you're young. Like you're constantly getting the sugar rush from drawing out from probability. Like I personally would be much more uh, I would definitely prefer having a game where they just show you what you're gonna buy and list out the price, and you can buy it if you want, and you know exactly what you're getting. So kind of like League of Legends skins or maybe in Path of Exile skins. That I feel like should be the best model people should go for. And because in a sense loot boxes are here in order to incentivize more spending.
Yep.
You want to keep putting money in so that you keep drawing and until ultimately you get what you want.
Mm.
And that also plays a lot of kids who are playing the game are very young, and they might not necessarily have self-control in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the loot box items are actually extremely valuable because if you guys know, like CS:GO, if you get like skins within the game, some of them could really sell for a really high price, and I think it's not very healthy that the company allows a platform for trading and making money out of luck. It's pretty much gamble, as Scientist just said. And also another point I want to point out is games are not cheap. Like, they're really expensive. And if you do choose to put more DLC and microtransaction within the game, I just think it doesn't make sense because I'm already paying the initial price for the game, and now you're asking me to add more into the game to actually have an advantage over other players. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I think microtransactions are fine if it's cosmetic only. So I agree with Jerry, but if let's use League of Legends as an example, right? It is a free game, and the only way that it makes money is through these purchases through the game, right? And if it doesn't affect the game, it doesn't affect gameplay, and it only affects it's cosmetic. So if you have the money, then you can spend it, and in that case, I think it's not so much gambling because, that's two different topics. I feel like the microtransaction part, I'm not angry about for a free game that is only for cosmetic, but I am angry about. I would be not okay with a game that says, "Hey, this is a full game, but wait like another year, we'll have another installment and another installment and another installment, and then you can pay money to be better at the game." That just makes no sense to me. But the gambling aspect of loot boxes, I'm on the fence on that because I enjoy getting the loot boxes for League of Legends for free. Basically, I don't have to spend money to get the loot boxes, and if I want to spend money, I can spend money on some skins. But at the same time, that is like kind of like a gateway drug. It's like, oh, here's a free box. You didn't get it? Oh, you can buy another box right here, and it's a little bit scummy. I can agree with that.
Yeah, I think this topic on.
You didn't mention that even if you get the skin you want, you still need to have enough essences to unlock it.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Oh no.
So you either wait another month of playing, or you spend money.
I mean, this could be on its own as a topic, because I'm pretty sure like mobile games and all that all have this gacha or loot box aspect into them, and I think we could talk about this more in depth in another episode.
Mhm.
So I think we're about time. So we're about to wrap things up.
It was a great episode again.
Yeah.
Show them your best stat impression.
Oh
please.
no!
Oh, no.
Oh,
You
no!
guys, the viewers missed it.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna go smoke some meat. Get some Barbie on the grill, baby. No, no. Like,
my God.
share, and subscribe. Push this everywhere.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
See you guys
for
next
tuning
week.
over.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye. Love you guys. Love you, Jerry. Love you, Gabriel.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.